At its zenith, the Roman Empire was a marvel of human achievement, a civilization that sprawled across continents, encompassing nearly a third of the world's population. Within its borders, people experienced comforts and innovations that seemed almost futuristic for their time. Central heating warmed the grand villas and bustling bathhouses. Concrete, a technological breakthrough, allowed engineers to erect structures of unprecedented scale and durability. Double-glazed windows insulated against the elements, while banking systems and international trade networks wove together distant corners of the empire. For many, the prospect of upward social mobility was real. Rome itself, a city of more than 1 million inhabitants, stood as the beating heart of this world, an urban colossus where technological, legal, and economic progress thrived. The Roman Empire appeared invincible. Its borders were guarded by legions, its treasuries brimming with the spoils of conquest and commerce. How could such a civilization, so stable and so powerful, ever fall? Yet history teaches us that even the mightiest empires are not immune to decline. The collapse of Rome came not as a single cataclysmic event, but as a slow unraveling, gradually at first, and then suddenly. The pinnacle of human progress gave way to darkness, uncertainty, and the loss of knowledge that would take centuries to recover. To understand the gravity of such a collapse, we must first grasp what civilization truly means. A civilization is more than just a collection of people. It is a complex tapestry of specialized labor, rigid social classes, and intricate political structures. It is a shared language, a dominant culture, and the domestication of plants and animals that sustain vast urban centers. Civilization is the force that enables humans to scale up efficiency, aggregate knowledge, and harness the resources of the earth to build, create, and thrive. Without it, the vast majority of us alive today would never have existed. This realization is unsettling. Collapse is not an anomaly, but a recurring pattern in human history. Most civilizations, no matter how advanced or resilient, eventually end. The average lifespan of a civilization is just 340 years. When collapse comes, it is rarely kind to those who live through it. Social order crumbles, cultural identity fragments, and knowledge slips through the cracks of time. Living standards drop, violence surges, and populations decline. Some civilizations vanish without a trace. Others are conquered and absorbed, and a few morph into new forms, often less sophisticated and more precarious than before. So what does this mean for us? If the Romans could lose their concrete and plumbing, could we one day lose our electricity, our smartphones, and our ability to feed billions? Today's world is a tapestry of interconnected cities stretching across continents. We soar through the skies in aircraft, communicate instantly across oceans, and use industrial agriculture to grow enough food for billions. Modern medicine extends our means while technology surrounds us with comforts unimaginable to our ancestors. Yet all this progress comes at a cost, one we still struggle to pay without degrading the planet that sustains us. Unlike ancient times, today's civilizations are not isolated. Instead, we are bound together into a single global system. This interconnectedness brings both strength and vulnerability. A shock to one part of the system can reverberate around the globe. If industrial civilization were to collapse, it would not be a localized tragedy. Billions would perish as food systems failed and supply chains broke down. The loss would not only be measured in lives, but in the erasure of the accumulated achievements of centuries. There is an even graver risk that civilization might collapse so thoroughly that we never recover. The dream of a thriving, multi-planetary human future could be extinguished. All the art, science, and discoveries of humanity could vanish, leaving only ruins and memories. The cost would be measured not just in the suffering of the present, but in the potential of countless future generations lost forever. Yet, while history is littered with the bones of fallen civilizations, there are reasons for hope. No collapse, however catastrophic, has yet ended the march of global civilization. Even as Rome fell, other empires rose. The Aksumite kingdom, the Teotihuacanos, the Byzantines. And when disaster struck, humanity proved remarkably resilient. The Black Death, the most devastating pandemic in recorded history, killed up to a third of Europe's population and nearly 10% of the world. Yet civilization did not end. Europe's population recovered, and within a few centuries, the world entered the Industrial Revolution. The story of Hiroshima is another testament to human tenacity. In 1945, the city was nearly obliterated by atomic bombing. 140,000 lives lost, and 90% of the city destroyed. Yet within a decade, Hiroshima rose from the ashes, and today it pulses with life as a vibrant metropolis. Such recoveries do not erase the suffering of those who lived through disaster, but they do demonstrate the stubborn resilience that defines our species. Still, the risks we face today are unprecedented. Humanity now possesses the power to destroy itself. Our nuclear arsenals could unleash a global winter, rendering the planet uninhabitable. Advances in biotechnology make it possible to create viruses deadlier than anything nature has devised. The threats we face are not only natural, but self-inflicted. If the worst were to happen, if 99% of humanity perished, would civilization endure? Could we rebuild? The answer is cautiously optimistic. Even with a fraction of today's population, survivors would retain crucial knowledge. Modern agricultural techniques, high-yield crops, and the domesticated plants that feed us would remain. The challenge would be to restore industrial capacity, especially since many technologies depend on complex global supply chains. But with time, and the knowledge preserved in libraries and surviving infrastructure, recovery is plausible. One crucial resource is energy. The Industrial Revolution was fueled by easily accessible coal. If we exhaust all such reserves now, future generations might find it much harder to restart industrial civilization. Preserving some resources as an insurance policy could be a prudent step, and there is hope in our collective memory. Much of our knowledge is stored in books, libraries, and archives that can survive catastrophes. Survivors would not need to reinvent the wheel. They could learn from our achievements, reverse engineer our tools, and strive to rebuild. Yet none of this should make us complacent. The risks are enormous and real. The choices we make today, how we manage our technologies, how we treat our planet, how we safeguard our knowledge, will determine the fate of all who come after us. Humanity stands at a crossroads. Like a reckless teenager speeding blindly into the unknown, we are powerful yet fragile, brilliant yet vulnerable. But it is not too late. By recognizing the dangers, preparing wisely, and acting with foresight, we can preserve the legacy of our civilization and ensure that the wonders we have built will not be lost to the ages. The future is not written. It is ours to shape. Did you find our videos helpful? Please like and subscribe to our channel so we can be motivated to answer the questions that people are still wondering about.